Hello everybody, back again with another video. Hope you're doing well, hope your life's going well, hope this week has gone well for you, and hope that today has gone well for you. Today is Thursday. It is July the 3rd, 2025. It is about 7:26 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope that y'all had a wonderful Thursday, a wonderful shortened work week, hopefully for you. And I hope it's been a productive and a non-stressful Thursday for you. As for me, I'm doing pretty good myself. Had a pretty normal day at work today, just another normal day, but definitely happy today because it is officially the start to my 3-day weekend. Yes, I get July the 4th off, so definitely happy about that. And I will be taking a mini vacation out of town. As a matter of fact, I've already booked my hotel, so I'm definitely excited about that. Looking forward to that. It's a 3-day weekend, gotta go somewhere, right? But yeah, I'm definitely happy about that. I do hope you all have July the 4th off as well. But if you do have to go to work, hopefully you're getting paid time and a half, for having to work on July 4th, So, yeah. But, yeah, all is well on my end. Now, the one thing that I'm not really looking forward to on July 4th is just all the fireworks that are going to be popped. I'm not a huge fan of fireworks, although I understand why people, enjoy popping fireworks. They create a, cool looking color pattern across the sky. Across the night sky, it's, they're cool looking, of course, but with me, it's just, they're too loud, and especially late at night when you're trying to go to sleep, all you hear is a bunch of popping fireworks. It's like, and I would guess that for the majority of people, like in a neighborhood or an apartment complex or something like that, they're not really trying to hear all that. Like, they're just trying to go about their day or their night, because that's when they're popped, and go to sleep or do whatever, watch TV or whatever. They're not trying to hear a bunch of fireworks. But again, I understand why people pop fireworks. So I get the, the fun aspect of it, and they're popping fireworks with their family and friends, and so I understand that aspect of it. But I'm just speaking for me personally. I just don't really care for them. And then also the fact that normally the next day or two, there's usually like a whole bunch of like haze in the sky, especially if you're anywhere like near or in a big city. There's just a whole bunch of haze in the sky from like everyone like popping fireworks and stuff. And it, usually the day after like Christmas, or not Christmas, the day after New Year's, when everyone's popping fireworks, or the day after July 4th, I usually don't even really like to go walking or running outside because the air quality is usually so bad. And I know that there's going to be some people that say, well, cars and trucks and other stuff causes pollution and stuff, but there's not a huge cloud of just straight up haze in the sky like from it like there is with fireworks. So it is different to a certain degree. But again, that's just me. I'm not a huge fan, but don't get me wrong, they look nice. And some of the actual like professional shows are nice. because usually they're held in some sort of, park or something like that, or huge outdoor community venue or something like that. And I mean, those are fine, at least they're not being popped like right in the middle of a neighborhood or inside of some like apartment complex or something like that. I think that's my real thing with the noise, is the fact that, if you're in the middle of a neighborhood and there's people like right down the street popping fireworks, you can literally hear that. But if fireworks are being popped, at some community venue, outdoor venue or something like that, and they're not like near a neighborhood or anywhere near where people live, it's usually not too bad noise wise when they're like off in the distance. But when it, again, right in the middle of a neighborhood, it's ridiculous. And I remember a few years ago when I lived in another apartment complex, there were literally people like right in front of my window. Like, I look out the window and there's people like maybe 20 or 30 feet away from me, like popping fireworks in the middle of the apartment complex. Even though the apartment complex said no fireworks, but the problem with that complex is they had like no one to actually enforce that rule. And so people, it was like a group of people just popping a bunch of fireworks and stuff, like right near my window. And it was super, super loud, and it was like super annoying. And another thing about that, it was a whole bunch of people that like didn't live in the complex that came in, and they're just being loud and obnoxious, playing music really loud. And it was just, I'm like, what is this? You serious? And then they left like a bunch of trash just everywhere, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So that happened a few years ago. Luckily I moved out of that complex, even though that apartment complex wasn't really that bad. It was actually a decent complex, but the area around that complex was kind of run down. And so it is what it is. So yeah, just not a fan of the noise, the haze that is in the sky for the next day or two after fireworks are popped. But again, I get it. I get that it's, and for some people, popping fireworks, that's a time when, people bond with their family, people bond with their friends, their loved ones, so I get it. So it's a time to have fun, relax, unwind, pop fireworks. I get it. But the cool thing is this year is it falls on a Friday. And it was funny too, last year it fell on a Thursday, and I had to work that Friday. I was like, man, I really thought about using my PTO for that Friday last year, but I didn't, so I ended up having to come to work. But this year it falls on a Friday, so we get a nice 3-day weekend. Anyway, y'all, let me get into what I want to do a review on. Yes, Chipotle. Yep, I went and got some Chipotle. I got a burrito bowl. I paid $10 and some change for the burrito bowl, but I ended up rounding it up to $11. It was like a donation thing that they asked me about, and I just rounded it up. So I was like, yeah. So I ended up paying. Really, I paid $11. So yeah, I paid $11 even for this here. And show you. Okay, it's kind of like coming through the thing here. So they put this oh yeah, I need the fork too. Got some napkins. They gave me this what is this? They put these, it's like they're all the same, but it says join rewards now, unlock free guac, scan to become, so they have like this QR code on here, scan to become a new member and get guac on us instantly. So that I guess they have this Chipotle rewards program. So I guess it's this thing where you sign up to become a Chipotle rewards member and you get like these different perks, such as weekly it says weekly free burrito drawings. Oh Lord. So I guess if your name or whatever, your account gets drawn, then you get a free burrito on them. Extra points at every turn, and what? Win a year of free Chipotle? Oh, I wonder how that works. Activate now to get in on 1 million in free Chipotle. Okay. That's interesting. Summer extras. Okay. That's interesting. I've never seen this before. This is the first time they put that in there. So yeah, this is what I got here. This is the thing that came in. Take this off. And this is the burrito bowl. So basically, let me show it to you. There we go. A close up of it. But basically I just got a veggie burrito. Guacamole, brown rice, black beans, the corn salsa, and the fajita veggie. That's all. That's all that I got. And me personally, I like the burrito bowls. I don't really go to Chipotle like that, but when I do, I always get the burrito bowl. As a matter of fact, I haven't gone to Chipotle in several months, but I was like, you know what? For the sake of a video, I'll do a Chipotle review. But I haven't been to Chipotle in a while. The reason why I usually get the burrito bowls over the burrito is you get more of the actual good stuff. Like when you get the burrito, you know, you get less of the actual good stuff. You know, you get less guacamole, less brown rice, less black beans, less fajita veggies, less of all the inner like ingredients. And for me, I just see more value in the actual inner ingredients versus getting less and then, you know, eating a flour tortilla, you know. But I understand, you know, why some people would prefer the burrito too, you know, taste wise. So anyway, yeah, that's all I got. I usually get the veggie when I go to Chipotle. I don't usually get like the chicken and steak, mainly because I'm a pescatarian. I don't think they offer any sort of fish or anything. I don't know. Does Chipotle offer any sort of like fish. I can't think of any like fish they offer off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't really get like the other protein toppings. So yeah, let me go ahead and eat. It tastes pretty good. Nice and salty. Chipotle is pretty salty. That's one reason I don't get it too often. It's really salty. But I guess once in a while is fine. So no, a long time ago I made a video. I think it was like last year. Talking about how to make your own Chipotle. No, you can make your own Chipotle. But you don't like burrito bowl. Now, it probably won't taste the same because it's not as salty, but still pretty good and filling and healthy. I do like how when you add guacamole though, it kind of just brings everything into one, and you really don't need anything else once you put the guacamole in it. You don't need like all those extra what do you call them, like sauces and stuff like that, sour cream. You don't really need any of that because the guacamole just brings everything together, if that makes sense. So that's what I like about it. Yeah. This is basically my dinner too. I really didn't eat much of anything all day. I did eat an RX bar earlier around lunchtime. And then for breakfast, I had a piece of toast with some King Oscar kipper snacks. I put the King Oscar kipper snacks on a piece of bread with some seasoning, and that was basically my breakfast with an apple. That was my breakfast. I guess you can say my lunch was an RX bar. Finish off with dinner. Chipotle. So I see why Chipotle stays in business, so this is really good. Definitely salty, but hey, that's what keeps people coming back. But the thing about Chipotle too is they do use whole ingredients, fresh ingredients, and so even though it's salty, it's still better than like a McDonald's burger or something like that, or something from like Burger King or Whataburger, Sonic or something like that. Way better. But yeah, it's pretty much my dinner. I need some water with me because anytime I eat something really salty like this, I end up really, really thirsty a short time later because all the salt. But I'll drink some water afterwards. It's alright. But yeah, I mean, health wise, outside of the salt, it's not too bad. And the oil, I mean, you got black beans, which are healthy, brown rice, which has health benefits, even though you have to be careful with arsenic. Corn, health benefits. The fajita veggies, health benefits. But normally with me, I would create my own Chipotle bowl. If you want the most optimal, healthy burrito bowl, you definitely have to make it yourself. Because this isn't like the healthiest version of a burrito bowl. But hold on. Got napkins right here. That's pretty good. Pretty much done now. Anyway, so I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you were relaxed, and I really do hope that you stay tuned for more videos.